Welcome to the Take It Home podcast. The podcast so bad we really should just take it home. I am one of your hosts, Doc Simmons. You can find me on all social media at Doc717. Tonight, for right now, I only got one with us, but another one should be coming through. I'll go ahead and give the hot tag to the senior official.
Up, guys? Referee Perch. You can find me at Perch XLV, # for the ref brand, and Waffles. Take It Home podcast.
Waffles, 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 waffles. How was the breakfast hunt for you, Perch?
Breakfast this weekend was not bad. Stopped at Old Mac's Diner and got a nice bacon, egg, and cheese on an English muffin and a big old pancake on the side. Phenomenal. Big pancake is as good as it gets.
Nice, nice, nice. I don't remember the name of the place, but we were out in Oregon, Wisconsin. Stopped at a little diner, got me a very nice Belgian waffle and chicken. Really hit the spot. It's a nice little place. Definitely want to go back. I had a very interesting menu. And then I had a good two stacker on Sunday, with a couple pieces of sausage. Um, Classic meal. Can't go wrong. It was very good breakfast weekend. I feel like it's been a while since I've gotten two on the weekend, but I very much enjoyed it. And you know what? I think it's been a while, maybe a week or so, since I've had a banger of the week. So Perch, let me know what you got.
Ooh, this week's banger of the week. People have been probably calling this a banger of the week for many, many years, and will continue to be because this song will always survive. Turn it on at any point, and it's bound to brighten up the day. This one hit me in the middle of the night one night. Was driving through the roads and flipped on a new station, and "I'll Be Around" by the Spinners,
Ooh.
a song that we've heard sampled in many songs, many good rap tunes.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, it has been.
and I can only imagine this is the original, but I wouldn't doubt if there's a song that came before it. But uh, but the Spinners, "I'll Be Around." Man, is that a good jam?
Yeah, that really is. Yeah, it's definitely been sampled a bunch. But yeah, I mean, it definitely stands strongly on its own and doesn't probably get the respect it deserves.
Yeah, yeah, and those groups, I think they were from Philadelphia. Um, just from that era, just such great music, good emotion, good soul, good storytelling, but yeah, really good singing. I love that song. "I'll Be Around." My goodness, what a tune.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Um, and then yeah, I'll be around. Great tune. Why don't we go ahead and talk about what we watched this week? Um, I watched a shit ton of wrestling. Perch, what did you watch this week?
Yeah, I caught a little bit of the AEW. Um, Good match with uh with the women at the end. Crazy action and the spray paint and Tony Storm being evil. That's a whole different element I haven't experienced. Um, but her and Soraya are pretty good. Dr. Britt is who I'm pulling for in that whole feud. Um, and Ruby, we don't know what way she's going. I really enjoyed Moxley coming out, getting in Hangman's face after Hangman and Kip Sabian had a good match. Um, and then Evil Uno coming out and pie face and Moxley. My
Yeah,
goodness. Oh, was that not awesome? Um, just no holding back. There is no room for holding back. And Evil Uno will, you know, do everything he can to keep his spot, earn his keep. It's awesome. I loved it. Uh, Went back. Been loving watching some good Paul Orndorff matches from the '90s, early '90s in WCW. Um, at a match, uh, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff against Cactus Jack from 1993, I believe, and it was a Falls Count Anywhere match. And the amount of crazy stuff that Cactus Jack does in this match to make Paul Orndorff look as good as he does. Um, he takes he pulls the ring padding or the floor padding around, pulls it off so it's concrete. Takes a suplex onto it, eventually climbs up to the turnbuckle, to the second turnbuckle, and goes for a sunset flip. And then Mr. Wonderful just right onto the concrete. He takes a guardrail in this match, an Irish whip into the guardrail. Best guardrail I've ever seen taken. He does a full tumble, like a barrel roll over this guardrail. I've never seen someone of such proportion do such a
Throw themselves.
graceful move. And he also takes a suplex right onto another guardrail and just impales his back. Like, yeah, love watching Mr. Wonderful matches, and especially when he met up with Cactus Jack from '93.
93.
Also, Great Muta, Keiji Muto having a final match.
Yep. About to start that show next.
Yeah, I've been catching some clips and in videos, and just incredible to know the hard work that he put in just to make it there. He was having a tough time walking from his last match. That's a long ramp to the ring in the Tokyo Dome and a long ramp out. But yeah, I saw the video of him calling out Masahiro Chono as well at the end.
Yeah, they had a very good moment in the middle of the ring. That's about because I didn't want to get spoiled on it, but I did see the picture of that, and that was beautiful and warmed my heart this morning.
I shed a tear at like 9:15 this morning. Yeah, incredible to go back to all the legends, taught by Inoki and Giant Baba, and to have guys like Three Musketeers in there too, and to have two of them right there in the ring. Incredible. Great pro wrestling, great storytelling, and great honor. The fans. There's a difference between how fans enjoy and view pro wrestling over in Japan, opposed to how fans enjoy and view pro wrestling here in the United States, and the honor and everything that comes with it. That moment, how it happened, is just I could have never drawn that up myself because I can't fathom it living where we do. Like, no, I don't think that could have ever happened. Maybe it could have, but you take that idea and run with it over in Japan, and it makes perfect sense and is beautiful and loved by everybody involved, and the honor and tradition that comes along with it. Yeah, that all hit hard this morning.
Yeah, real good way to start off a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give the blind tag to somebody who just snuck in.
What up?
Yeah.
I guess I can do the introduction. Zach Hendricks, find me on all social media at Z Hendricks Brand. I'm sure Doc took care of it, but just in case, check out your mama's favorite shooters at Country Air Official on Facebook and Instagram, and Country Air Brand on Twitter.
Yeah.
Just got home from camp. That was a very productive camp. Taught Dish Junior how to do arm drags, hip tosses, suplexes, body slams, and headlock takedowns. So he's a few moves shy from being able to do a basic match.
Nice. Coming along. I guess I can give you the question. How was your breakfast hunt this past weekend?
As usual, non-existent.
Oh God.
I get
sorry,
breakfast
bro.
one with I get breakfast one with you.
Yeah, okay.
No, I mean, like me and Val just never, like, I don't know. Jack's very big into breakfast. I'm just like lazy and rather when I'm home sleep.
Yep, I get it. You are a challenge to sometimes wake up.
Yep. Plus, don't want to be fat.
Well, you gotta eat.
Well, yeah, I know that, but
You gotta eat so that you have
obviously
the
eating
energy to
more
work
makes you fat.
out.
I'm just the Energizer Bunny. I already have the energy. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no. Are we talking about what we watched?
Yes, sir. Why don't you talk about what you watched?
I'm assuming everyone talked about the Elimination Chamber. If not, then
I have not. Go ahead.
I watched the Elimination Chamber, and first of all, man, I just love Asuka. I was like how, from SmackDown where they had her beat the hell out of her own partners and win the match by herself. I'm like, all right, how does she not win the Elimination Chamber? Like she just proved it, like she could beat all 5 people in one night by herself.
Yeah.
But I just, just to see what she's like. Obviously, she has to tone it down a bit, but just seeing her bring in her alter ego in WWE is awesome. Looking forward to her at Mania. She's done it all. I mean, Money in the Bank winner, Royal Rumble winner, and Elimination Chamber winner, and for the longest time had one of the. I mean, she surpassed Goldberg on the undefeated streak. So,
And
I
it
mean,
was
she
a
just needs.
very good undefeated streak.
Yeah, like she was destroying people, and I just want to see like, will she get her first Mania win? Because I have a theory about Bianca Belair too. Isn't Belair undefeated in Mania?
No, because didn't she? Was it the loss to Becky at Mania?
No, SummerSlam with the
Was that
handshake.
Summer? Was that SummerSlam? Then yeah. Then I guess Bianca would be undefeated.
Because you can never legend steal, and I think if you're gonna have someone to get a new streak at Mania, you got to deal with a female, and Bianca might be the right person to have a streak.
Bianca could be that person to have a streak.
So I mean, we'll just see how Mania goes. But me being a weird person in my head and already like just building up, I'm like, oh, like Oscar, it'd be cool to see Oscar win, but at the same time, like we could be witnessing what people didn't know back in the day, a streak being built.
Yeah, true, true. And I mean, H is there. He knows his history. That could be interesting. I'd be down for that. I
I
would
mean,
rather it not be at the expense of my girl Oscar, but I can survive.
I get that. I just think if you're gonna build a streak, like I mean, you gotta do
Some legitimate challenging opponents.
but you also I feel like I mean if you're gonna have it imitate like let a woman have it this time. Like don't need to have another male superstar, and a lot of the male superstars have taken L's at Mania.
Yeah.
I think Bianca's like one of the legitimate people who haven't taken an L yet. So like it's a good person to build a streak on.
Yeah, Bianca's hot right now too. So I mean, yeah, it'd be a time to start doing it.
Um yeah. And then what was match 2? I'm trying to think. There's like only 5 match. Oh, Bobby and Brock, dude. Uh Man, I expect Brock Lesnar to go down low.
Brock, I like Brock when he likes the people he's working.
Same. I just don't like. I watched Raw. I like saw highlights from Raw. And I see almost challenge Raw. Like Brock to a Mania match. I'm just like, oh, like we
Give me
still
that
need a
Bobby again.
yeah, we need a Bobby like Brock. Like, but we'll see. Match. Uh, I enjoyed watching Edge and Edge and Beth Phoenix against the Judgment Day, Rhea and Finn. Some of the stuff they did was super good. Not gonna lie, stupid. We're gonna be stealing because Legends steal.
Yep.
A lot of great things there.
I saw the double power bomb spot. I would like to do that.
Oh, there's like some other stuff for like when we get to do when we get to be dirty a little bit that I'm gonna be stealing.
Mhm.
But what was it? I was very confused at first. I'm like, where is Damian Priest? And then I forgot. I'm like, oh yeah, he's in the next match. But yeah, it was great. I enjoyed their little nod to FTR. Dominic Mysterio, man, he's just something different now. It's kind of like what I
It's
talked
so
about.
good. It's so good though.
It's like I don't want to like go over too much of what happened this weekend if we haven't talked about that yet, which I'm assuming we haven't. But it's very similar to a cute Craig situation. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Q Craig is now like arguably in a top faction at ICW, and he plays a main role. And like a couple of years ago, you were like Q Craig was just kind of like doing his like stoner hippie gimmick in the pre-show and not really doing much. And now being a factor, and it's like kind of the same with Dominic, where he goes from being with his dad. Now he's like out here shining and like acknowledging the fact that people are making fun of him, and like he's not being embarrassed of it. He's embracing it. Plus, I think like his gear. I like the little tassels and all that. But yeah,
Yeah, I like this version of his gear with Ray was interesting, but I don't think he had the body for it. I think this fits him a bit better.
agreed. The men's chamber match was nuts. You want to build my I love great tag teams. Hopefully Angelo Dawkins doesn't go away, but Montez Ford just being a star, baby.
Yeah.
A lot of crotch chops, but uh you could tell at first, like I don't know if you've seen his little dive he did off the top of the cage, but I
I
felt like
did
at
see
first
that.
you could tell in my opinion, I'm like, I wonder if he's trying to backflip. It's like, nope, I'm too long for this.
I want to say Lindsay did that.
Lindsay did it in the tag elimination chamber match, and he did like from the straight top.
Yeah.
But he had that opening too, that whole opening that he used.
But I enjoyed. I still love
Yeah.
it.
I had a feeling when Montez was getting escorted out and how long it was taking. I had the Logan Paul feeling. I knew he was coming. I was like, this door is open way too long. I just wish Logan Paul came out with security, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like for my visual appealing, just because of the corner Rollins went in and you're wearing a highlighted sweater. But then obviously Roman and Sammy, they didn't have to touch for like 5-10 minutes before like the crowd was just super into it. Um, Sammy's on a different level. Like again, last year at Mania, we were watching him lose to Johnny Knoxville. Now he's in a legitimate battle against the tribal chief, and everyone believes he might have a chance. Like Sammy's super good. I enjoyed what they did with their wife. I enjoyed that Roman's like, I tried feeding you guys. I tried. Like I wanted you a part of my family. I like the fact that they were trying to acknowledge that the Usos couldn't come to Canada for the DUIs, and Jimmy shows up anyway. Like they stored me a little because I was like, oh, I thought Solo was going to show up at some point, but I didn't expect the Usos with the. Because I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like they can't travel,
Yeah.
but overall, like that was super good. I feel like I watched other wrestling that, like, if you brought it up, I remember. But all these weeks clash, and like, oh, I watched all our matches. I watched all our matches. I watched our Royal. I watched Armando's match. First of all, he's a little dickhead. I tried to cost us the Bruce City tag belts, but I got put over, man. Like any promoter to the tens and twenties of listeners here, I can't put over enough our students. Yeti Henderson is so good. Like I just like he like he's unorthodox but matches, and he knows how to work. He knows how to play his gimmick. TAU is so freaking good. We'll talk about. I'll go over some of that when we get into the Insane Rumble match. Just moments there, and like last but not least, Armando Alvarez. Man, like that guy is super athletic. I was watching his match. I'm like, dude, like you are super cool as a wrestler.
Yeah, he is. He is.
So I mean, I would like anyone who listens are looking for young up and comers who are hungry and they're going like tell good stories, know what their character role is, and like put on good matches. Like I recommend any one of those four. If not, just book all four.
Yeah,
There's half your show.
definitely.
But yeah, that's about it for me.
All right, for me, I also watched a bunch of wrestling, but I can really only remember two shows. First, want to talk about New Japan's Battle in the Valley. Very good, pretty much from top to bottom. Standout match has to be that Kyrie versus Mercedes Renato or Mercedes Monet. That's what it is now. Real good, real good pacing. Started off slow. Um, it's kind of like Mercedes in charge in the beginning, Kyrie in charge at the end, and very good way to get into the finish. Um, I do think camera work is interesting. for New Japan because I think her finisher looked better this time. But the camera was definitely at an angle where had she messed it up in a similar way, you wouldn't have been able to tell. But it definitely looked better. I'm for it. These are the type of matches she's gonna have in New Japan and Stardom. I'm all for it. Jay White, Eddie Kingston, very emotional at the end. You can tell Eddie was getting emotional towards the end and does in real life have a lot of respect for Jay. His farewell match in New Japan. Very good. Eddie murdered him at the end. And then, not only putting over Eddie, but then putting over Finley at the end was, I think, a nice touch. I think that's very interesting considering like how big of a baby face Finley was like a year and a half ago. And, for him to go ahead and do this and now one of the such a heel move. I love Homicide. Homicide can do no wrong. Homicide versus Lawler was good. Freaking Homicide stabbing him in the foot with the fork. Just wanting to get that fork into him, no matter how it happened. I was all for it. That was awesome. Yeah, just a really good show, top to bottom. I watched Dark today, but only part of it. Started out pretty good. Watched Dark Elevation yesterday. Juice Robinson and Fuego del Sol. Very good chemistry. Um, I love Rock Hard Juice Robinson a lot. Not a big fan of that DDT type finisher he does, but we'll take it. Fly Death against Lee Moriarty and Big Bill. Very good. Loving heel Lee Moriarty in AEW and Bill kind of feeding off of him. I think maybe it's just a dynamic he's used to after Enzo, but I actually think they look pretty good together. Like the finish, and they let Fly Death get off a little bit, and their stuff looked really good. Much love to those fellas down there in Texas. Athena is still a bitch, and I like it. That's one of those that was very organic, just going off the crowd reactions. The crowd didn't want her as a face. She's become a heel, and I'm all about it. The 6-woman tag match. For the nerd in me, I've noticed Leva Bates has kind of taken the librarian to just nerd levels of reading comics and reading manga. So she came out with the Zenitsu robe this week. Big fan of that. Willow Nightingale is a star as soon as they want her to be. Crowd was super up on her when she came in for the hot. And Emi Sakura and Nylia Rose are great. Did nothing more to say on that. Sky got in there. Sky came out with the faces and got in a little action. So I'm guessing her injury probably happened sometime before last Wednesday, but looking forward to seeing her tomorrow night. I love this Matt Hardy. I don't know if he's a con man. I think I'm being conned, but I'm not sure. But him and Isaiah, with Paige and Stokely Hathaway, I do really enjoy that dynamic. Like I said, I can't tell if Matt is working me. Lucha Bros were back. Of course, always love that. Going to steal stuff from Matt. I don't get the varsity athletes faction. Not in the sense that I don't like the people in it, because I do like Ari Navari, Tony Nese, and Josh Woods. But I don't know, because the Trustbusters are still a thing, which Ari Navari is the leader of. So I don't know if it's a House of Torture Bullet Club thing, but I never see Tony Nese or Josh Woods with the Trustbusters. So I mean, that's just a confusing thing on my part. I could just be dumb,
Is
but
the Trustbusters
uh,
even really? Are the Trustbusters a thing? Because Parker Boday's now with
yeah, he's not with them anymore. He's with Swerve, but it's still uh Slim J, um uh uh God, Concrete Rose, can't think of the name. Um fuck. Ari Davari and Ari Davari. So it's still at least those three. Um but then Ari Davari is like kind of part of the varsity athletes as well.
Ari Davari's just testing the wins and seeing what's the right fit.
I
He's
guess.
he's,
I guess. But
he's at the candy store and he wants to try out all the flavors before he makes a decision.
very I mean, hey, I guess play the odds. But Matt Seidel and Slim J had a very good match. Slim J is super fucking athletic. Like I think AEW is definitely in that problem that WWE was a few years ago, and man, that roster is bloated. You have way too much talent. Like they are doing their best, but it's just like the unfortunate you can't put everybody on TV. Hopefully, when Ring of Honor comes back, they kind of fix that. There was that match with Tony Deppen and Caleb Conley tonight. That was, of course, very good. Those guys are very good. Tony Deppen is awesome, super nice guy. So I think I'm very intrigued to see what happens when Ring of Honor comes back. And with that, why don't we talk about finally what we did this past weekend? It was a great weekend. Zach, you were excited to put over some guys, so why don't we start?
Yeah. So Friday we were at ICW. It was the Insane Rumble. It's one of the biggest shows of the year. 30 men in one ring. But before that, Doc and I found ourselves in a 5-man gauntlet match. We took and that gauntlet was the Great Outdoors, TAU, Marjax, the champions at the time, Evil Inside, and myself and Doc Country Air. We drew slot number 3. Started off TAU versus the Great Outdoors. I believe TAU got a win. I'm not sure how. I saw Oso wiping his eyes out. Shortly after that, Doc and I we came out. Had another hard fought battle against that Theory of Asian Unity but you can't kick out of Air Buddies. And then we were getting a little overzealous. Doc hit a suicide dive on Wab Ming, but unfortunately was still in the entranceway when the next opponents came out in Marjax.
Yeah. First match for TAU. Yeah, those kids are coming along. Our first match was by far the weakest, and that wasn't that bad. They've only gotten, I feel, exponentially better since then.
Oh yeah, and then yeah, TAU is just again put them over, and I'll talk about some things in the Royal I saw that, especially with Josiah. But I mean, those guys are super good. They hit hard. There's no complaints about TAU except the fact that they're just pains in my asses and like like get tired of getting hit.
Yeah. But yeah, and then yep, I'm in the entrance. Marjax comes out, post me, which I know I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, post you. I was able to get a little bit of the up on them, but Doc and I were rolling, and then a familiar face of ICW came out, Mr. Jason Dukes. Not sure what happened, why he's there. I thought he retired for the 7th or 8th time at this point, so I don't get why he keeps coming out, but I'm not sure really what happened. I believe my tag partner though when he says Dukes is pulling some shenanigans, and unfortunately, we got eliminated from the gauntlet.
Yep. And then even more so, unfortunately, Marjax would go on to win.
with the help of Jason Duke. So, yep, Marjacks are now like I think this is their like 28th or 29th reign as ICW Tag Team Champions. So, congratulations to your 28th, 29th win. I guess I don't get why you need a manager, but you know, it is what it is. Well, we haven't forgot, but yeah. And then later that night, I mean, literally right after, I believe, was the Insane Rumble, correct?
I believe so.
And like, let's put over some people. Yeti Henderson came out at number 2, and I believe he was there all the way until number 27 or 28 came out. So Yeti was out there, doing his thing. I mean, surprisingly, almost took the whole damn Royal.
Yeah,
Um,
he had a run. Crowd super behind Yeti. You could hear them screaming Yeti basically the whole match.
oh yeah, Yeti's a lovable guy. He was out, like I said, he killed it. Number 11 was a mystery spot. Mr. Dysfunction Jr. Ended up stealing a number and got in the Royal, eliminating number 1, Bobby V. And yeah, and like here's where I was talking about when I was what I meant by like people doing well. Man, the crowd was super hot for Dish Jr. Lucas to come out. He did his thing. The crowd was into it. Everyone in the ring's a little shocked because they didn't know Little Dish can do all that. And right when the crowd's up and all that, you see young Josiah run across and drop kick the hell out of him. Like, screw your moment, kid. Get out of this damn Royal. I was like, all right, that was good. I was super into that. But a little fun fact, Doc. I know we didn't win, but you were the first elimination of the Royal,
Yes, I
and
was.
I was the last.
Like we're either winning it all or going home early.
We're setting records though. We want to make sure our names are on the record book, and we're like, well, we might as well just do both.
Yeah.
But yeah, almost ended up being me and Ethan Matthews, the final two. You know, the more things change, the more things stay the same. You know, we started out Lapika against like on the pre-show against those guys, and come to find out, just being the final two, me and Ethan, we battled on the apron for a hot minute, caught him with a nice super kick. And again, the more things change, the more they stay the same because Val Malone decided to come out and once again hit me in the nuts.
You really should. Like that's probably the reason she doesn't make you breakfast.
Bro,
She is
I don't
just
get it.
against
Like,
you.
you would think, like, being her fiance and all that, she would want me to. I believe that Val thinks if she prevents me from winning titles and all that, like, I'll stay home. That's my honest opinion. She's like, oh, the last time he is a champion, obligated to defend belts and all that, he can just stay home with me.
Yeah.
And she gets mad when we go and do our out of town shooter stuff. So again, another nut shot, big boot to the face by Ethan. Ethan's the ICW 2023 Royal winner.
Yeah. Yeah. On him. Ethan is having a definite rise in his career, I feel right now.
It's like a breakout year right now for him.
Yep, but kiss my ass. Uh and then Saturday, we were another home game for Brew City Wrestling. Um in singles matches where I looked it up. It's been 5 months since my last singles match. Not a fan. These lungs are not built for that anymore. But was able to make it through. Uh I had Jake Omen right after intermission. Uh somebody that I've definitely wanted to work. Shared a locker room with him a few times. Great guy, and we came out and beat the hell out of each other. Match started out fast paced. Uh, he worked the back. Uh, Backbreaker guy. Is a very accomplished mat wrestler. So he was putting the screws to me, but similar to the night before when I kicked off Hua's head, everything falls to a liquid sword. Eventually I was able to hit it and got the 1, 2, 3. Maybe after a surprisingly short Frank promo, I then walked my partner to the ring for his match.
Yes, sir. I was taking on the Godfather of Chicago wrestling, a man who's trained a lot of the greats. You know, I didn't know that for the longest time, but yeah, superstar Steve Boz. We had, I thought, a pretty good match. It was going fair. We were exchanging moves. I took the Boz and Oko driver. That was, I think, the only Boz move I took that was named after Boz. But after that, hit him with my bottle opener. Thought I was going to get the win, but instead, I guess there was a foot on the rope. I watched the video back, and that little bastard CJ Cole wants to get involved. I get he just lost his Heritage title and was upset that he didn't get to wrestle the veteran Jack Vaughn, but you have to get him our business. But yeah, with a low blow by Boz, my balls just ain't doing so well this weekend because you see those Boz punches.
Yeah,
But
balls lit you up. Those were some nice fucking punches.
yeah, thanks. My my
It's
face
like,
is
I'm
strong.
sorry. Like
My face is happy you enjoyed it at least.
they were good.
But yes, Doc, thank God, because I think they were trying to go after my neck or something, but I was set up for after the match was over, I lost. I gotta let people know I lost. After the match was over, I was getting set up for I guess a pile driver or something. I don't know. I
Yep,
was out of it, but
spike pile driver.
I'm gonna say yeah. I just know my feet were over my head. Doc came in with the save, and next month we'll be challenging those little bastards for our belts. If you want to wrestle for our belts, that's fine. But just know, like, we wouldn't accept a challenge that we weren't ready for.
Yep, we gonna kick your ass, boys.
But yeah, that was our weekend. Sunday was a nice chill day. I watched the Elimination Chamber.
All right, Perch. You had a long weekend.
Yeah, it was a really fun weekend. We kicked it off Friday night at AAW live at the Berwyn Eagles Club. First match I had of the night was Jack Vaughn against Jay Marston. Fun match, part of the AAW Live series. And then the final of the Live series was Mike Outlaw versus Matt Diesel, two good homies, versus Shane Hollister versus Joey Jet Avalon. Great matchup. All four people involved. Really put on a good display. Fun match all around. Always fun to have a Joey Jet match. Yeah, great time. Shane Hollister ends up coming out the victor in a hard fought victory. Next match I had on the night was Ren Jones taking on Josh Alexander. Good match, hard fought back and forth. Josh Alexander ends up picking up the victory. Silas Young against Big Beef. That was fun. Silas Young ends up just going to town at the end of it and picking up a decisive victory. Really good match. Fun all around. Davey Vega defending the AAW Heritage title against Mike Bennett. Fun to have any of those matches. Vega's got a whole crew of managers on the outside, and Mike Bennett is fighting for himself. I took a little bit of a knockdown in that match, but got back up by the end of it, and yeah, Vega ends up winning, and he's still the champion. And then the main event was the champion Jake Something against Mance Warner, both of them with a partner of their choosing. So it was a tag match. Mance Warner and Manders SGC taking on Jake Something and Joey Janela. A great surprise. The crowd loved it. Everybody loved it. It was cool to have Joey in the house. I had just worked with him the previous week in Jersey City, so it was cool to work with him again right away on Friday in Chicago. They had a wild brawl of a tag match spilled throughout the crowd. Stuff was getting thrown around. At one point, a garbage can went flying, and it just the side of it clipped me, and I felt up and drew a little bit of blood, um, just a flesh wound, but definitely looked like Snake Plissken with the just missing the eye patch.
I'm sorry that Zach doesn't get movie references.
I just watched Escape from LA like twice last week too. At least it took me like 2-3 days to finish it, and I love that movie.
Yeah.
And New York is good too, but Escape from LA is one of my favorite movies of all time. Um, and definitely had an eye that
Snake would be proud of.
Snake would have been proud of. Call me Snake, call me Perch. And yeah, finished the rest of the matches if nothing happened. Just looking at everybody else's expressions as they saw my face. Um, and uh, and yeah, it probably went another 20 minutes or so. A wild finish at the end. Jake something hits the black hole slam. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, final. That was a great show. Great main event. Yeah, really intense. Those AAW shows are like none other.
Nice.
And then we went over to Black Label Pro on Saturday, where we had a handful of matches. Kevin Blackwood against Trisha Dora. That was really fun. Great all around, hard hitting, 2 top level independent stars. To get them on any given day is awesome. This happened before 4 o'clock in Indiana. Really good time. A great story all around. Next match I had was Ryan Mooney against Chase Holiday. Great match there too. Ryan Mooney came from behind, picks up victory. Incredible. Next match I had was on the late show. Kelvin Tankman against Manders. Yeah, hard hitting, great match. 2 grown men going at it. I really enjoyed. Good pro wrestling match. Tankman went for the shooting star press. Came up empty, but he had a couple of the finishing maneuvers to end that match. Also had the Natterday Saints and Alice Crowley against Pick and Pop, Coda Jacobs, or no, not Coda Hernandez, and
Darius.
Luttrell, and Matt Nix, the 3 of them. And it was great match all around. At one point, Bradley Prescott comes in the ring, and Darius Luttrell gives him a shoulder tackle. We call it a charge. In basketball, one thing leads to another. Give the whole team technical fouls. I tossed the Chicago boys out of there.
I did see that.
And it was great. Very fun all around. Darius is a wrestler who had many fun encounters with, as well as Coda too. Pick and Pop is such a fun tag team to work with at freelance and really anywhere throughout independence. And Matt Nix, always fun, a good storyteller. Been doing it for a long time, so always fun to work with him. And the final match of the night was the main event with Billy Starks against Brogan Finley. Speaking of the Finley family from earlier, Billy Starks, the BLP champion, defending the title in a street fight. Hard-hitting match all the way through. Garbage cans used. Made sure to stay out of the way of the garbage cans this time. No blood was drawn. And yeah, great match all around. Still champion, Billy Starks. And yeah, very fun shows.
Nice. Good wrestling has been good to us, it seems, this early part of 2023. Now, might as well move on to our topic for tonight. I asked the boys, it is WrestleMania season, and WrestleMania always has a host, or if you go back to the early WrestleManias, they had like the Rockettes and stuff. There's always a little something extra at WrestleMania. So I asked, what would you bring to WrestleMania? I'll go first. If I had my choice, what I would do is I would hold either Chopped or the Great British Baking Show with the guys that are not on the card. I think it would be really fun if you just had all the wrestlers that aren't on the show having a cooking contest, and we check in occasionally throughout the night to see how it's going. I kind of lean towards Chopped because if you've ever seen the Great British Baking Show, it is very British. I do not think Americans would fare well at the Great British Baking Show. It is way too calm. Chop probably has more fervent energy that American wrestling is used to. But I think it would be hilarious to see like Sheamus trying to bake bread in 3 hours. And well, I guess WrestleMania is like 2 4-hour shows, so that's actually a lot more doable. But I love cooking shows, and I just think that'd be a little fun thing to add into it, break up the little monotony. Perch, what would you bring to the table to throw a little extra on WrestleMania?
Yeah, a little extra. Great question. WrestleMania is always fun. Throw everything that you can at it. Back in the day, really enjoyed Bob Euchre as a guest host.
Yep.
He always had something going on in the background, looking for Vanna White or one thing to the next. I like when someone's like, on a search in the back, looking for something and keeps you hanging. Leslie Nielsen did it too.
Yep.
Um, Back with the the Police Squad movies. Just yeah, I like when that stuff's going on. Would love a host. Bring back John Cena in any capacity. Bring back John Cena. Bring back The Rock. Let's see someone as a. I like that classic host. I like when The Rock hosted it, and he ended up ripping off the breakaway pants and delivering the rock bottom to, was it Eric Rowan?
I believe so.
Yeah, I like a good host for WrestleMania. New Day hosted the one year. That was a hell of a WrestleMania. They got to bring back the Hardy Boys. uh, I like that hosting role. I think there's cool stuff that can be done. So that'd be a multi-talented person to host, who can do it all. Yeah, that would be my bill.
Yep, your little spice to
Little
WrestleMania.
halftime show performance if they're a dual threat.
Hey, if John Cena wants to perform his rap album, I'm all for it.
John Cena and Alicia Keys hosting WrestleMania with a halftime performance.
That's too powerful for this world. Zach, what extra spice would you bring to WrestleMania?
I thought about like kind of similar with you, Doc. I mean, a little bit of mix of both. I always like the good host who likes to throw a wrench in the show. Uh, you know, like how Perch said with the New Day hosting and bringing back the Hardy Boys. I would like a nice, good a surprise. So, I mean, there's speculation with people surprising. So, a great host with nice, fun surprises for the show. But I think like WrestleMania week's always a big week. It's like a Super Bowl week, and similar to like Chopped. If anyone remembers back in the day, like WWE used to do like things like Fear Factor and all that. I think it'd be cool to just see like a bunch of different TV little series. Like it doesn't have to be like each like bring guys in different competitions, just have them have fun and like show off like what they can do if they're not on the show.
Okay.
But yeah, just something similar to that. Like I always enjoyed Fear Factor,
Fear
except I was
Factor is great. Yep.
except I was very disappointed when Jeff Hardy got eliminated, like literally right at the beginning.
Yeah, I was too. I felt like he should have been gone further, but I was always a Matt guy anyway.
Everyone like I remember like watching that Fear Factor. Everyone's like, "Yeah, I'm worried about Jeff. I'm worried about Jeff." And then like they do the helicopter thing. They're like, "He's not using his legs," and tired himself out.
Yep.
But just I don't know. Some how like I always like how the Super Bowl with the Pro Bowl, like they show these guys doing some other things. I think like if like they could do Mania something similar as that in that aspect.
No, yeah, I do enjoy. I think the like skills competition for the Pro Bowl has been a lot better than just having a game where nobody cares about.
Yeah, and like obviously in those Pro Bowl games, like no one's hitting each other as hard, and like they're all just a highlight reel.
Yeah. All right. And finally, why don't we talk about what we got coming up this weekend? Um, Last week in February, boys. Perch, what you got?
Yeah, this weekend is a one show weekend. We're going out to Minnesota for a Steel Domain and MAW joint show. Uh, yeah, I like to make it to Minnesota anytime I can, maybe once a year. Used to be a couple times a year. Yeah, it should be a really fun time. Looking forward to it.
Nice. And for us, it is also a one show weekend. Zach, you got some little fuckers chasing us all around America.
That's what I'm saying. We got Theory of Asian Unity. Like I feel like this last month and a half has been the country year beat the hell out of Theory of Asian Unity tour, and we don't end with losing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Theory of Asian Unity, they had a little appearance at 01 USA last month in the Battle Royal. Them and Armando Alvarez again book those guys. You know, if you want to book them against us, you can, but you can always book them against other people. But they're making their 01 day, USA main show debut. And talk about a debut. They're challenging us for the 01 USA Tag Team Championships.
Yes, they are. Like I said, like we said, we are very proud of our young students, but now it seems like Theory of Asian Unity, to get the respect that they want, think that they got to take from us, and we're not going to let that happen.
Well, no, we'll show them the right way, but don't try to get famous off of Country Air, baby. So Theory of Asian Unity, Country Air, 01 USA. As Doc said, each match has gotten better. Each match is getting a little bit more intense. They're getting a little bit smarter. They're catching on to us. We're trying to catch on. We know what they're about, but they're obviously keeping some secrets, which is fine. If you're in the Mattoon, Illinois area, come check it out. Country Air versus Theory of Asian Unity, 4 or 5, I don't know.
Yep, guaranteed to be a banger at this point.
Guaranteed. And maybe the big stepper might be on the show too. He'll be out there. He'll be in attendance.
Nice, nice. All right, and with that, I think it's about time we take it home. Zach, any final thoughts or questions?
I mean, nothing really. Just wrestling's been getting good. Weather's getting a little bit warmer. We have goals. Talked to the veteran Jack Vaughn about some of those goals. Trying to get to some new states. So, we want to work for all the promotions. So, any promotions that have booked us before that want to book us, book us. Anyone know any new states willing to take a chance on some shooters or a ref? Let us know.
Perch, final thoughts or questions?
Yeah, it puts to rest the careers of two of my favorite of all time professional wrestlers, Triple H and the Great Muta, KG Muto. Yeah, I love wrestlers who've been doing it for a long time, especially from our childhood. And eventually you have to hang up the boots. But as long as you can do it and there's still gas in the tank, and as long as you're willing to do it, I give you all the credit in the world. So now pulling for John Cena to make big old comeback and be a pro wrestler for the next 10 years. Maybe 20 years. But but we'll take what we can. But yeah, those guys give us so much love in the ring. So great times, great memories.
Nice, nice. And for me, like the message has been lately, guys, please take care of yourself, watch your health. We love you, and we want you to come to wrestling shows, and watch us do our thing. Follow us on all the social medias, like, share, and subscribe. Tell promotions to book us because we want to wrestle in front of you and ref in front of you. This has been the Take It Home podcast. Y'all be easy. One.